me as an individual, I can't do much. Like if I say I'm not eating, animal products anymore, that won't do a whole lot.
82 years ago, Abraham Lincoln said this: "Nearly all men can stand adversity, but if you want to test a man's character, give him power." I wanted to see what people thought of it today.
I think that's a really good quote because it's like power, as everyone says, absolute power corrupts absolutely, and that's a big thing. If you give somebody like a lot of power, I think most people do abuse it.
Do you think most people misuse their power?
Yeah.
I think so too.
Cincinnatus, he was a Roman, he was like basically a Roman general or something that got called to like help unify the kingdom of Rome, and then after that they wanted him to be like the ruler of Rome, and he turned it down. To me, he was a good example of somebody that actually said, no, power won't do good things for me.
Do you think that everyone has power?
Yes. Yeah, we all have our own power.
It's kind of interesting that you ask that because I think the only power that we really have, the only thing that we can control is how we react to situations. So it's like we do have power in every single aspect of our lives. It's just I don't think that you have power or should have power over other people. So it's like you do have power over yourself though, for sure.
What do you think about the ways that humans use our power, like over other species?
We got the animals locked up, so we need to. I'm really not for the whole zoo thing. I just feel like after Corona, it's like you really taking advantage of these animals. You're taking them out of their space, of their living environment, just so you can profit off of them.
The questions are about to get a little harder. Let me know if you don't want to answer any of them.
Okay.
Do you consume animal products like meat, dairy, eggs?
Yeah, I do.
Nah.
None of them? You're a vegan?
Yep.
God damn it. Do you think there's any element, like on those farms, of like the humans having power over the animals and maybe abusing that power?
I think so, but I can't say with 100% certainty. It's just like there's been people a lot more educated than me who have studied how animals are treated in farms and stuff like that. And I'd heard about chickens being like so crammed into places that their legs would break. I mean, naturally, I don't like any of that. It's like I do like to eat animal products, but I don't like the whole practice. But if they treat them right, then no problem there.
Would you be open to watching like a little video about how animals are treated standard?
Like here right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's a little one.
This is legal, standard practice. This happens. This is why, I think there's a big disconnect between what's actually happening and what people think, right? So just looking at this, how does that make you feel? That's the teeth.
Oh, that's absolutely horrible. Yeah, that's disturbing as hell. I mean, you do bring up a good point that, we really do abuse our power over other species for sure because, we have opposable thumbs and, we are intelligent. I have heard that there are other really intelligent animal species dolphins and elephants, but they can't do what we do.
How long have you been vegan?
5 years now.
Really?
Yep.
And what made you make that choice?
A lot of enlarged heart in my family.
Yeah.
And a lot of illness, and I didn't want to go down that road, so I just started becoming vegan and working out more.
What do you think would keep you eating these products? For me, I feel like it was taste and convenience. Is that kind of true for you?
I think that's part of it, but also the other part is just culture. I mean, if I was raised somewhere where I, due to a religious belief, I couldn't eat, pork or something like that, then I wouldn't eat pork. I just wouldn't even think to do it. But given that we are in America and, you get a big ass burger with bacon on it, naturally we like bacon a lot.
The taste is good, right? Yeah.
It is, yeah. And it sucks to see something like that because it's really sad, and I feel conflicted because me as an individual, I can't do much. If I say I'm not eating, animal products anymore, that won't do a whole lot. It would take a massive exodus of people, leaving the meat market.
Yeah, I think you brought up a few really interesting points there. I'd love to cover a lot of them. So let's start with kind of culture, this American culture thing, right? Yeah. We kind of, before this interview, we were talking about how culture and morality change over time. Do you think that is true?
I think so, yeah. I say that, but then again, it's we move forward and try to correct the wrongs that we've done. But it's if everything got stripped and we were right back to the base human, what we were all along, I don't know. I think that we would be right back to ground zero.
Like if there was an apocalypse.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Let's say there's not going to be an apocalypse. I mean, which there very well may be. I guess my point is, like, we could probably think of things that were cultural here 200 years ago.
Right.
But people challenge that culture. Do you think that this is an area of culture that should be challenged?
I think so, yeah. I'll be honest with you. I don't know how many people would be willing to carry the torch on that, because it's like a lot of us, like I said, it's so ingrained in our culture. You know, it'd almost be like telling people not to have beer at this point. You know, it's a difficult concept.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I guess the difference for me with the beer example is that, you know, me drinking beer, as long as I'm not like beating someone, it's only going to harm me, whereas this is like harming animals. But I do want to touch about, I think, the most important point, which is, can individuals make a difference, right? And we kind of touch on that at the beginning, like, yes, individuals do have power over our choices and actions, but how much does that affect supply chains, things like that? So there are people who study this, and they've found out that one person going vegan per year saves anywhere between 30 to 600 animals. So that's like a huge number, yeah, but that's, let's go on the low side and say 100 animals per year. If you looked out and you saw 100 animals and you knew they wouldn't have to go through this shit because of you, like, would that be worth it?
To me, that would be a pretty cool thing. I mean, like, if you read like any kind of books on health and like fitness and like also spiritual just well-being, it's a lot of people say just don't eat animal products anyway. So, you know, it's like, it's something I've been wanting to get on, you know, but sometimes I like chicken wings and burgers a little bit too much.
No,
you know.
Yeah. And
I do think it's cool though that like a lot of people who make vegan recipes, they can make something taste exactly like something else without it being the animal. That's pretty cool to me.
Like, is your life better or worse because you're vegan?
To be honest, it's way better. Yeah, I get up in a much better mood.
Do you think the taste pleasure you get, do you think that justifies, you know, an animal's entire existence being like that?
No, I mean, honestly, like sometimes it's funny, like every now and then I like to reverse the scenario, is like, what if another, you know, species ruled the planet and we were just raised to get executed? I mean, it's kind of a, you know, a lot of people maybe even watching this wouldn't agree with that concept, but it is interesting just to put yourself in someone or something else's shoes, you know?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how hard is it?
I don't find it hard, because I quit cold turkey. Like, I was just like, I'm not going to do it no more.
Nature is brutal as hell. It's like, I would like to think that we at least, you know, raised above that we're a little bit more elevated than that, you know. But seeing that video that you showed of them slamming pigs on the ground, that's not elevated. No, that's barbaric.
Yeah, it is barbaric, and that's another thing I think about is like, what are future generations, if the world does go vegan, what will they think of us? But the other thing about it is that what you saw, the industry tries very hard to hide that from people. And like, you go to the grocery store and you see labels that say like humane, local, things like that. Do you think you can trust those labels?
I don't know. For me, I don't trust a whole lot of labels, you know, just because like I feel like a lot of businesses will say whatever they have to, but there's a lot of like I don't know, there's a lot of wiggle room in how companies can say something and still be like technically legally right, but morally is a different question. You can do things legal, but they might not be very moral, you know? So I think that's the line a lot of those companies walk on.
But do you think there is a humane way to kill an animal?
That's tricky. I mean, it's like, because I would say the most humane way to kill an animal would be is if it was sick. You know, if there was like a definitive reason to kill it, you know, because like, I mean, hell, there's one time I had to kill a mouse because it was like paralyzed, you know, and it's like, did I want to do it? No, I didn't, but that was humane. But like when you treat something like a business and you're just getting rid of the excess or the useless, nah, to me that's not cool. Even if it's like a quick and painless thing, it's still kind of messed up to do that.
Anyone watching who's not vegan, what would you say to them?
Try it. Try it and see how you like it for like a month, and I guarantee you it's going to change your life, because your attitude is going to be way different, and you're going to be in a much, like, it just, I don't know how to explain it, but I just feel better.
If you could live a life where you intentionally harmed humans, intentionally harmed animals, or neither, what would you choose?
Naturally, I would do neither, like, you know, because I don't like harming anybody or anything personally, so.
Do you think like going vegan would be more in line with harming no one?
Probably so, yeah. Like I said, it will be very hard for me to break that just because of, culture, and it's been kind of instilled in me, and I do like the flavor of some things, but I don't know. That is definitely a thought-provoking kind of question for sure.
I guess I kind of want to tie this back to power, is that like as individuals we do have power, as humans we have power and responsibility, and to use that to dominate other species, I think we both agree is wrong. Thank you so much for watching today. If you enjoyed this, please hit that like button. Special thanks to my morally superior patrons, Amy, Andy, Deepak, and Rebecca.